Welcome to the TED Ed Podcast, where we delve into the issues that shape our daily lives and drive our productivity. We confront topics that matter deeply to all of us, from healthcare and affirmative action to voting rights and monetary success and failure. We cover it all. And yes, we dive into the complex world of politics, exploring how our country has evolved from slavery to the 21st century. Our content is crafted with care and expertise, drawing from years of experience in these critical areas. We invite you to give the TED Ed podcast a listen. You won't be disappointed. Share your thoughts with friends and confidants, and don't forget to like, comment, and share our episodes. Your engagement helps us grow and reach more listeners. Are you passionate about these topics? Do you have unique insights to share? You could be one of our guest speakers. Drop us a line, send an email, or leave a comment. All requests will be considered. Join us on this journey of exploration and understanding. This is the TED Ed Podcast. Thank you, and enjoy the show.
Person copied all our shit.
Well,
He ain't
we
even
needed
deviate,
to
man. You
start.
ain't nothing from but a hound dog came straight from a black woman.
Yeah, we need to start on our own property, our own stuff. And it took a while for our artists to realize that their library of songs and music and media was very valuable. And
Well, you know what?
and
I give the credit to the rappers. There's
I
one
think,
thing I give that to them, boy. I give the credit to the rappers.
well, Ray Charles started owning his own stuff and everything, and after he had been out for a while, he told those white folks he wanted to own his own stuff. I think he was the first one that's put his foot down and said he wanted to own his stuff,
No,
and then and
it was
then
Sam
uh,
Cooke.
and then James Brown, I think he came in and started telling them, "Hey,
Like I
I
said,
want
the
my
first one
own
was
stuff."
Sam Cooke, bro.
Yeah. Well, I don't know when Sam Cooke started that, but Sam Cooke was way back there. Oh man.
That's what I'm saying. The
My
first one
my
was Sam Cooke,
my
bro.
parents and stuff was Sam Cooke fans. Uh, that song that
You was
he
old
did,
enough to listen to Sam Cooke. What are you talking about?
I said my parents used to listen
But
to
I'm
Sam
saying you
Cooke.
were old enough to listen to Sam Cooke.
I didn't, I
That's all we
didn't, I
heard on
didn't,
the radio.
I
Sam
didn't
Cooke,
like that stuff. I didn't like Sam Cooke stuff, man. I was
Twisted
listening
in the
to
USA, Twisted.
man, we had
A
oh
change is gonna come.
man,
That's all we heard.
we had those 45s and stuff, man. Those Jitterbug folks and everything, Boogaloo and Junior Walker and the All Stars, and I
The
didn't.
Isaac brothers, bro.
Sam
The
wasn't.
Isaac
Yeah,
brothers.
Isley Brothers, man. Isley
The
Brothers, yeah, man.
Concours. The
Yeah, the
Concours.
Dramatics and the Manhattans, and oh man,
Ooh, those were
oh
the
man,
days, bro.
we had a gang of Stevie Wonder.
That was the days, bro. I seen them
Yeah,
all, yeah. I seen them all.
you seen them all, huh? Well, I
I
didn't. I
seen them
haven't seen
all.
them all, but I listened to all their music,
And
and then I got really started out listening to Jackie Wilson. He was he was a son of a gun. I
when I
listened to
was
a lot of
9
his
years
stuff.
old, that was my first superstar singer,
Who was that?
Jackie Wilson.
Jackie
Lonely
Wilson.
Teardrops.
Yep. Lonely Teardrop. You remember that?
I was 9 years old, bro.
You were down to Three Sisters listening to
I
Jackie
wasn't
Wilson.
at Three Sisters. I was living in Chicago then, bro.
You were living in Chicago there. Did you ever go down to the Three Sisters?
Oh, yes. Three Sisters, Shady Groves, all of them.
Oh man.
Jules.
Yeah, I wait. Well, the Shady Grove came after the Three Sisters now. Shady Grove came around, man. Everybody was around there then, but the Three Sisters. Ooh. The McCain girls. Well, people, we are here today, and I don't know what's going on. I've been busy, Ted, today. When you text me and said after 1 o'clock, I was out there. I was out there cleaning up the yard, doing my gardening. Well, not gardening, but taking care of the yard, getting rid of them last bit of leaves and stuff that was sitting out there. And then I had to get my cars washed because they had leaves and dirt and everything all on them. So I've been busy. I just got back home at 3 o'clock.
Yeah, that's the reason why I live in an apartment.
Yeah, well, I enjoy this, man, because it keeps me going, man. It keeps me up and going. I mean, it keeps me up and going. Matter of fact, there's some other stuff going on, and then I I'm afraid to watch this SEC championship game here in Atlanta. I don't know if Georgia can beat Texas twice in 1 year.
What time they play tonight?
I don't know. I don't even want to know. I don't even want to see them until after it's all over. I want to just hear what the results is, and then once I hear the results, then I'll look at it. Now, if Georgia loses, I probably won't even watch it because I know that they're going to be playing next week and stuff somewhere because the playoffs and stuff start right after this weekend, and it looks like they're going to be in the playoffs and everything. But I don't know. Um, There's some real wacky stuff going on now with this college football and stuff going on. And when Ohio State lost last weekend to Michigan, man,
That was
that that
total
that
upset.
threw that threw that threw a big old wrench into that playoff stuff. I mean, a big wrench in there when they lost. And it all depends, man, on who wins the ACC and stuff and everything. If Alabama stays in there. They because they were right at the bottom. They were right at there at the bottom, but we still don't know. It all depends on what happens in the ACC championship. Depends on if Clemson wins the ACC championship, Alabama's out because they're going to take the ACC championship. Whoever wins it, if Clemson wins it, that pushes Alabama out the door. Because Clemson is below Alabama and stuff right now, but if they win the ACC championship, they getting pushed right out the door, right the back door. That'd be the first time in a long time that Alabama has not been in the championship series, even in the four-team
Haven't they lost like
playoff.
3 or 4 games?
Huh?
Haven't they lost like 3 or 4 games?
3.
Yeah.
But they beat some real good teams. They beat some ranked teams. The ones they lost to wasn't ranked. Vanderbilt. They lost to Vanderbilt. Man, Vanderbilt not even in the top 25. So they were losing to them rinky big dick teams. And anytime they played like LSU and everybody else, man, they beat them, beat the crap out of them. Matter of fact, they beat Georgia. But Georgia almost came back and won that game, though. It was real close, man. Like, intercepted the end zone, say they behind because they were coming back on them boys. So we'll see, man. We'll see. I'm gonna be glued to the TV screen when the playoffs get here. I don't care what goes on. If Georgia ain't in there, whatever, I'm gonna watch it. But right now, I can't watch it. I get my heart just won't take it. Oh, so it reminds me, Ted, when I was on the sideline coaching football. I really enjoyed that. Really did. Coaching those kids and stuff and everything in football. My last 3 years and coaching them and everything, we won the Super Bowl the last 3 years we were there.
Really?
Oh man,
You're a
yeah.
good team.
Hey man, it took me a while to get there and stuff, but I figured out what to do. I figured out how to win. And that's what we have to do now. We got to figure out how to win. And once you figure out how to win, then you're okay. I had my second championship year. We had a team, Ted, that nobody scored on.
Hmm.
they, didn't, they didn't get scored on until I think the game before our last game before the Super Bowl. Uh, they were beating this team up real bad, 36 to nothing. And these kids, man, I had to put my scrubs in because they needed a chance to play and everything. And man, all of my first team was sitting down there, and this team was driving down the field, and they were coming to me, Coach, put me in, put me in. We can't let these people score on us. I said, I can't do it. I can't do it. You gotta let your folks play. So they was on I think the 10-yard line. I called timeout. I said, hey, you guys can't let these kids score on y'all. You're gonna blemish our record. They scored 6 points on them. Oh man, my first team and stuff started beating up on their teammates because they let them score. Oh, that was some great times, man. But I guess that's how it is. You just got to learn how to win, man. No matter what the heck going on. So anyway, what you got, my friend?
Well, I got several things. However, this right here is a little bit you might call boring, but this is what I love. The real nitty gritty stuff. You know what about supply chain, right?
Mm-hmm.
And United States runs hundreds of millions of dollars in deficits in trade balance. And the reason why is because we are consumers.
Mm-hmm.
Because we are consumers, we spend a lot of money. And because our GDP is higher for personal GDP, the average household is $75,000, $75,000. And, there's that top 20% is well over 140, 50,000. And money is being spent. That's why our GDP is so high, running well over $20 trillion, because we're constantly wanting more products. We are consumers. That's why our GDP is so high, higher than China. And China got, what, 3, 4, 5 times many people? Now, the thing is that a lot of our products come from other countries, especially China. And China is constantly making products so they can keep their people working. Even though they're not making a lot of money, but they still keep their people working. So they constantly have products. So these products are just stored up on these shores. They can't be moved. They're so far behind. You remember when they had that strike in October?
Mm-hmm.
So they had the strike, and now they're farther behind, and you got all these products that's sitting up here on these shores all across the country now. Now I found out that these people, there are over roughly about supply chain workers about 3 million. Now, what was one of the big things that they wanted to do? They said in their negotiations, we don't want automation. Because if you have automation, you're gonna knock half of those people out of the job. Because machines, you do the infrastructure and make sure you have all that automation, and people gonna be gone. And then what happens? You got a million and a half to 2 million people or more that's gonna be out of jobs. That right there will stop our GDP because those people make a bunch of money. And what they say, the average salary is right around $75,000 to $100,000 a year. They spending a lot of money. Billions. I mean, it accumulates after billions of dollars. They buy houses and cars and all kind of consumer goods. So that was the reason why they went on and agreed to that for now. However, because it's a slow process. I understand that there's about each one of those ships carry anywhere between 250 or more of those big containers, and they're constantly coming in. And when they come in, they're just sitting there sometimes for months. So what's supposed to be driving these things? That I don't know. But here's the thing that drives our economy, and really, you have consumer spending, business investments, government spending, and then you have deficit spending, export or budget deficits. And then you have the supply chain. So all of those things helps our economy grow. And I'm saying, yeah, but we ain't making nothing. We're not making anything. That's the problem. We're not making anything here to export. Some of our biggest exports is farm products. You know, we got some things that we export, but most of the things we import and everything.
Question:
Yes.
how do those different points relate to us not making anything?
Well, what I
You
mean
got
by
you
not
did all
making
the
anything,
deficit
when you say,
spending, you got all those spending things you were talking about. How do those things relate to what you just said? I'm asking a question because I want to get a clear point of what you're trying to say here. I
well,
don't understand.
when you, here's the deal.
Go ahead.
Okay, there, right now we have a workforce of right around 160 million people.
Mm-hmm.
62% of our population is working.
They're working. Okay.
You have
Go ahead.
another 40% almost that is retired or disabled or unable to work. Our
So,
unemployment is, according to them, is very, very low.
okay.
So the thing is, we only have 340 million people in this country.
Okay.
Now that's not counting all the undocumented. You know, I always say we got between 30 and 50 million people that's undocumented in this country.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is that the economy is based on consumerism.
Okay. So what does that have to do with the fact that you saying that we don't make nothing, and you got 160 million people who are
When
employed?
I say we don't make anything, that's not, I'm saying we don't produce like we used to as far as our manufacturing. Now, we do have a lot of manufacturing that's going on, but it's nowhere near what it used to be in the 40s and 50s and even the 60s, because they started transferring those manufacturing companies overseas. Let's face it, one of the biggest sellers in America is athletic shoes and athletic equipment and apparel. Where is all that made? Overseas. It's not made here. It's not made here because it's cheaper labor to make a Nikes over there, somewhere else. It's cheaper labor to make uh, gym shorts and uh, outfits over there. It's not manufactured here, bruh. So
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. I'm talking about, you know, because we don't really have the labor. Really, that's the bottom line. Because right now, manufacturing is lacking a million people working in manufacturing, and that's the deal. We just don't have the labor, bro.
So if you don't have the labor and you're so what's wrong with them shipping jobs over to another
I'm not
country?
saying
So,
it's wrong or right.
but you
I'm just
just
saying
said,
we don't make
but you said
anything.
we don't have manufacturing and stuff, and that's what.
Well, here's the thing. There are certain things that should be essential. Essential manufacturing, essential producing certain products that people need every day. You remember when we didn't have the gowns to protect and the masks to protect, and they had, and so therefore they had to shut down certain manufacturing companies so that they could make enough masks because we was getting them from overseas. Essentials. You remember when we had the milk for the babies and it was made overseas or should another country.
Hmm. I'm I'm still in a flux here, I guess you might say, or whatever. That I would say what you were saying back, if we was in the 20th century, what you were saying is probably would be true. But right now, it's our country has changed. Our how we produce and how we make money has changed. And because of that and everything, I think that having manufacturing in this country is not the answer and stuff to get us back on whatever track we need to be on and stuff. So I have a problem and stuff with saying we need that manufacturing and stuff back because we don't have the
Well, I'm just
manpower.
talking about essentials. I
Okay.
think we should be able. We should demand that essentials should be manufactured here so that we don't have to depend on other countries for those essentials, the essential things that we need, whatever they are. I don't know all the essentials that are needed, but those essentials should be made here.
Well, I have a problem with that too. But I'm a I'm gonna I'm gonna I'm gonna say this. I think that where we at in this country at right now, and how is the dynamics is made up, and how we make money, and how we doing what we're doing, it's it's working. I think it's working, and I don't
Is
think
it?
that we need to have manufacturing and stuff here in this country because we're in a world economy and stuff now. We have to depend on people outside of our borders to produce the products and stuff that we need that we can't make here. And uh, it has been put upon the CEOs of these large companies and stuff and everything who own or who help build these plants and stuff to produce the products that they're bringing over here and everything into our country. They did the right thing because they can produce these products over in China because they got cheap labor, put them on a ship, ship it over here, and bring it and distribute it and put it into the stores or wherever we need it cheaper than we can make it right here. And when that happens, then I think that at first I didn't think that was the right thing to do, but right now at this point in time, that was the right thing to do. We still got, just like you said, over half, almost half our population is working. You said 160 million people are working. And we don't have enough people to take care of jobs and stuff in the health industry. We don't have enough people to take care of jobs and other industries and stuff out there. So, and we're bringing people over here into our country to fill these jobs, from doctors all the way down. You go into a doctor's office, there's a foreigner in there. He or she had no idea about this country, but they came over me stuff because they got the expertise and everything to do to take care of us health wise. So I don't
Well,
know.
that's
It's
because, well, that right there is a whole different apple. I don't even want to open that worm up.
okay, but I'm just saying I think that
I don't want
that,
to open
that
that worm up
it
because
was,
you heard of the Baki case, right?
huh?
You heard of the Baki case, right?
Yeah.
Okay, then.
Those
That right there stopped hundreds, I dare say thousands of doctors, black doctors, to get in medical school.
but we should, if if they wanted to become doctors, if they wanted to do
So
uh,
you're gonna make it
to
harder for
become,
them to go.
it doesn't matter. You if you- we already know it's going to be hard for us to get stuff done. So you have to work a little bit harder, jump a little faster, run a little faster, jump a little higher. And we've been doing that for a long time. So if you are in that mode and stuff and everything, and you know what's
Well,
happening,
see,
you
I
know what's
think
coming at you, then you got
here's
to
the
fight
thing.
through it.
I got 10
Go ahead.
I got 10 things that is an issue with the United States.
Okay.
Climate change.
What?
That's number one.
What
Climate change.
if?
Climate change.
And well, wait a
I'm gonna
minute.
give
Hold it.
you the
Hold it. Hold it.
list.
Hold
I'm
it.
gonna
Hold it.
give you
Hold
the
it. Hold it.
list.
Hold it. Hold it. Hold it. Go ahead.
Economic inequality, equity,
Wait a minute.
racial injustice, political polarization, healthcare excess, gun violence, immigration reform, foreign relations regarding geopolitics, reform educational systems, and then you have the overturned Citizen United and all the big money limited these politicians' power, political parties. So when you're dealing with all of these issues in America, all of these things affect us. They affect us because those are the things that's coming against us. And it's been coming against us for years. Climate change is hurting us.
In what way?
Well, I don't know if you read the stories of the oil companies and where they usually set their plants at, but they're usually not that far from black communities. You go down, you read the stories in Texas, you read the stories in New Orleans and other places. These people, they call it Cancer Row. So I'm just saying, a lot of people, when you live in plush life and a decent life and everything is going fine for you, but there are people out there that's suffering from a lot of uh, inequality, a whole lot of
Well, that's
violations going
why I
on.
was asking you in what way, because when you mentioned that Cancer Alley thing, I don't think that had anything to do with climate change. It has something to do with the chemical industry, petrochemicals.
Well, the oil company is part of the climate change, bro.
No, not really.
Okay, all right, fine. I
Not
thought you,
really.
I thought you knew a little science.
No, not really. I don't think that they are part of the climate change. I think that we had to we had to get to this point and stuff, Ted, because we as, just like you said, consumers and stuff in this country and stuff, we we drove that industry and stuff and everything to do what they did, because we had to have gasoline, we had to have fuel, we had to have all this stuff and everything to keep us warm and to move us around this country. So the industry, I think, might take just a tiny bit part of it, because they could have found another source of energy and stuff and everything for it. But I think that we ourselves and stuff as consumers drove that.
What
We
is the
had to have
number one?
we had to have the gas to
Well,
put in
let me
our
ask you a
cars.
question. Let me ask you a question. Ain't nobody arguing with you here.
Go
What
ahead.
I'm
I'm not
asking you a
arguing either.
question. What I'm asking you a question is, what is the number one transportation in this country?
What is the number one what?
Transportation.
Transportation.
Yes.
Hell, cars.
Thank you.
But
That
who
don't have
drives the
anything to
cars?
do with climate change.
I'm saying who drives the cars? We
I'm
do.
asking
The
you.
consumer drives the
I'm
cars. And
asking
we knew
you.
that this stuff was bad.
I'm
Some
just
people were
asking
telling
you
us
a
it's bad,
question.
and we still drove cars. We still
Well,
put that
hey,
gas in
that
our
is not
car.
the. All of that we already aware of that, bro. We already aware of all those things. What I'm telling you is that the emphasis was not on mass transportation. The issue was buying cars. Because you know why? Because that right there helps our GDP. When you're selling cars, millions of cars, we got over 300 million cars running around here in trucks. We did a thing in Switzerland.
So
They
why
don't have
didn't
hardly no cars in their
so
country.
why so why didn't we could have forced the petrochemical industry
There were people that
into
was fighting that, but they didn't
by
go with
not
it.
by not buying cars, by doing the same thing they're doing at that other country you just said, and just ride our little bicycles and stuff and everything and get by with that. We
When you
could
say
have done that.
bicycles, come on, man,
We
that's
could
not
have
fair.
we
When you
could have
have
forced
when
that
you
to
have
happen.
major
I'm I'm
transportation,
being I'm being the devil's advocate, man. Shit, you got to give me you got to give me my props here now.
no, but
I'm
you
trying to
ain't
be
gonna
I'm
downplay
trying
it.
to be the advocate here and
No,
stuff.
you downplaying it
I'm trying to
because
say
I
I'm trying to
remember.
say that
I'm just
we could have
I'm gonna say
we
this. I remember when I was a little kid. I used to catch the bus,
right. We
nine,
all
10 years
did.
old.
And we used to
So
walk.
in
Hitchhike.
Chicago. Wait a
Right,
minute. Wait a
hitchhike.
minute.
I
Yeah.
hitchhike. Go ahead.
So the bus would come there every 5 minutes. There would be a bus.
Mm-hmm.
Boom, 10 cents to get on the bus.
Mm-hmm.
I want to transfer. It cost me another 5 or 10 cents, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Mass transportation. If I want to go downtown, I can catch the L.
Mm-hmm.
20 cents.
Mm-hmm.
Mass transportation.
Okay. And go ahead.
I'm
What's that
just
have to do
saying.
with climate change?
What I'm saying is when you have mass transportation, one of the major things that it's not so much now because China now didn't realize, you got to sell cars to keep your economy and make people borrow money so they can do the same thing that America's doing. But China got major mass transportation because they got over 1.5 billion people. Major transportation.
Okay. Okay. Now
So
let's go to the next one now.
economic
We don't exhaust the
inequality.
climate change. Let's try another one. I'm gonna ask you about how immigration has bothered us, created a problem for us.
I say immigration reform.
Immigration reform. Okay.
There's a
Uh,
difference between just why it's bothering us. The
Let me
thing
correct.
is that,
Let me correct
how
this
long
now.
have these people been shuffling paper and all of that, trying
Let
to
me
get these
correct this
people?
because I didn't write down the wrong thing. Now you had 7 items, right, or 8?
I had 10.
Huh?
10.
Okay, so I'm missing something. You didn't give
You
me
want
a
me to
chance to
reread
write.
them
You
again?
didn't give me a chance to write this down. You kept saying, "Keep on going, keep on." I'm gonna go head on. So what's 8, 9, and 10?
Immigration reform, foreign relations, geopolitics, and
Ho 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 ho. I don't have that. Okay, go ahead.
educational reform.
Okay, I got that. Citizens
So
United, I got that. Foreign relations, I got that. Healthcare, I got that. Economic inequality, I got that. So what else?
political polarization,
Political polarization. Okay,
healthcare
I
access,
got healthcare.
gun violence,
What now? You said
gun violence.
gun violence. Okay, that's the last one. I got everything else.
You got racial injustice.
Yep, I got all that.
Okay.
So those only three I didn't got: geopolitical, political polarization, and gun violence. I didn't get those. So you were talking too fast. I try to write this stuff down so I can be able to intelligently respond to this stuff. Okay, education. What's the problem?
There's two types of educational systems.
Okay.
Number one, is not enough money that's going into the underprivileged people. And, the educational system is messed up because, like I told you, I used to be a substitute teacher and I used to teach on both sides. And the difference between, and I'm going to put them in quotes, black and white side. Now you have a sprinkling of black people that's on the white side, and you have a sprinkling on the black side that's white. And the difference in the educational system is humongous. As far as access to a lot of things that are going on versus it's totally unfair. You don't get the same privileges and things that happens in the black community or the lower income community. And that's the reason why you don't get quality citizens because they're not being taught properly. They're not being encouraged properly. They're not being um, catered to like they do on the white side. It's totally inadequate. Now there are always going to be the cream going to rise to the top because you're going to always have smart black people, and they're going to move on and they're going to go to better schools and probably some of the best premier schools, but there's be a lot of people that's going to be left behind to be solid citizens. Now, everybody, we made the term of mediocre, average, excellent, and exceptional. Everybody's not going to be exceptional. Everybody's not going to be excellent. And there'll be a lot of people that's going to just be average. But right now, we're graduating mediocre people. Not their fault. You know what Congress just did? They're trying to pass a bill where they can teach civics now. Now, when we came up in high school, didn't they have a civics class that we had to learn before we graduated? Huh?
Did this legislation pass?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. I didn't dig into it, but all I'm saying is it's a crime and it's a shame. You got to sit here and pass a law so that people can learn civics. And when we came up in the 60s, they were teaching that. And we learned our political system. I used to
So
volunteer when I
so
worked at the bank. I used to when I was a banker, I used to volunteer to speak at some of these little grade schools and high schools about money. And half of these people didn't know anything about a checking account, a savings account, an investment account. They didn't know anything. They didn't even know that they can open up a checking account while they was in high school. So the thing is, when you don't know about money and what money does and what you can do with money, and all you're going to talk about is whatever they talk about, that's a crime.
it is.
Yeah, it's a crime.
So you so
This
that
country is
this is part
this.
of your one of your economic inequality series, right?
Well, I mean, it goes deeper than that. You know, when you're talking about affordable housing and public housing and
But
safe place to
I was
live.
just saying that what you just said was a part of this economic inequality.
Yeah, it can be a part of
Okay.
it.
Okay. That's
But
all I
I mean,
wanted to
I'm
make.
talking
That's
about
all I wanted to
education
make
right
that
now.
I want to make that distinction.
I'm talking about education.
I know economic inequality is a big issue. Okay. What else?
That's it.
That's it.
That's all I got,
I have
bro.
to I'm gonna ask a question to you. And this I guess this catchphrase or whatever is probably gonna be talked about for the next year or two, maybe longer than that.
Catchphrase.
Huh?
Catchphrase.
Catchphrase, yeah.
Okay, I'm
Dodge.
listening.
Dodge.
Yeah.
Dodge.
Oh, yeah.
It's gonna be talked about for a long time. And I'm pretty sure, Ted, like some of these other things down here that you talked about, that when somebody says that, they're going to be a million or so people who probably don't even know what the heck they're talking about.
I agree.
They have no idea what they're going to be talking about. But I'm telling you, I can see it now because they've already start
Keep on
using it. You
talking. I'm
can
going to
see
pick
it.
up this phone here.
Yeah, you can see it in all of.
Hey, brother,
Uh,
doing my show. What's up?
we can see this
I'll
in
call, I'll call you right back. I'll call you right back. I'll be over in
all of our
15 minutes.
media, that's going on now and everything. You can see that word DOGE, and it's going to be. There's going to be some big fights over that. I think there's going to be some big fights over it. But when I first heard it, I said to myself, "This is some bull crap. This is some bull crap."
What is
But
that lady's name that's from New Orleans, and she was the DNC chairman, black lady, wear her hair gray.
mm-mm.
Come on, Ed. You know all these people.
No, I'm trying to think of who you're talking about.
Well, she comes on a lot of shows, ABC. She's on there all the time. Oh man,
Is she a Democrat or a
she's a
Republican?
Democrat.
Oh, she used to be run Clinton's campaign, right?
Yeah, right.
Okay, I know you're talking about, but I can't put her names on the tip of my tongue.
But you
But I
know
know you're
who I'm
talking
talking
about.
about.
I know you're talking about. Go
You
ahead.
know what she called Venezuela? You know what she called him?
No,
A visitor.
well, he's been called worse than that.
You are a visitor. You have no idea what you're talking about. You are a visitor. You just got.
The other one's a visitor too.
Yes, yes.
Muscle's a visitor too.
But what here's the thing. When you say, and the reason why I bring that up, you say it's going to be a bunch of stuff. But let me tell you something. They're going to be crucified.
I don't know if that's true or not. I really don't,
Okay.
because and the reason why I said that and stuff, Ted, is that the criminal is going to help them in whatever way he can to get this thing and stuff done.
They're talking about doing away with Medicare
I
and
know
Social
that.
Security, bro.
I
The
know
criminal
that.
ain't gonna say a word. He said only thing he gonna say is they supposed to give me a report by May.
he is going, I'm telling you, Ted, he is going to push this thing. He has no other choice but to push it. Just like before the election and stuff and everything, he turned around and said, I don't know nothing about Project 2025. And look his constituents and the American people in the face and told that lie. After the election was over with, he knew all about Project 2025. Now he got this thing going on, and Musk and what I can't pronounce that Negro, that foreigner's name, that guest name, Vector Juchi or whatever the heck his name is, like you see the foreigner.
Call him Vic.
Vic, okay. And next time we talk about, I'm gonna say Vic, and then you guys know what I'm talking about. He
Swami.
Vicious Swami, okay, Vicious Swami,
Vic
the
Swami.
Swami, the Swami, okay. Anyway, he picked those guys to come in here to start this thing because if you know the first cabinet folks or the first persons that he picked were these two summer guns right here to start that Dodge. That was where the first one picked. He hadn't even he picked his attorney general yet, but he picked them. So he's going to push this. If he says something first about that, he is going to push this. And whether it makes it through or not, or how it gets down through the legislative branch of the government, I don't know. But if you look at the Speaker of the House and stuff, who is going to be Speaker of the House again in this next session, Mr. Johnson and stuff, they have a 100-day plan. And part of that 100-day plan is this Dodge crap.
I'm gonna say this. 45 is a traitor.
47.
He ain't 47 yet. 45.
Okay, he's 47. Yeah,
45
okay.
is a traitor. And his main thing is to disrupt the military.
Do what?
Disrupt the military. He wants to get rid of NATA. He want NAPA. He want NAPA. He wants to get rid of. He want to bring in all those military people in all across the country. We got over 700 bases. He want to destroy the general's authority. He wants to do all of that and cut military. Now he will put in a face talking about, oh, what we're gonna do is we're gonna have more this and we're gonna have more of that. But the point is, he wants to disrupt all of that. He wants to get rid of all the different guardrails that he got up for all the military people, because military was the first to integrate. And you have a whole lot of black folks that's in top flight in the military, all in all branches, and they well deserved, most of them. So that's the
That ain't
thing.
gonna happen.
But I'm gonna tell you this right now: if they mess with SNAP, if they mess with Medicare, if they mess with Social Security, them white folks gonna get on his ass.
They're not gonna bother that. The Social
Well,
Security,
that's the big. Those are the. Hey,
Social Security,
Medicare
Social
and
Security,
Social
and
Security been
Medicare are
going.
Social
Hey,
Security
that's
and Medicare are third rails to you. They've been third rails for a long time, and I've heard them say that they're going to bother Social Security for a long time, for over 24, 25 years, and they haven't touched it yet, and they're not
you can
going to
say
do
what
it.
you want to say, but I'm telling you,
It's a Social Security is a third rail, and the military is a third rail. Those Republicans will in the Senate will rebel against him
man,
if he bothers the military.
they're already talking about cutting benefits for military people already.
No, I ain't gonna do that. They're not gonna do that.
Okay,
It's not
you
gonna
can say
happen.
what you want to say.
Speak my word. People, remember what I just said. It's not going to happen. They're not going to bother them folks. They got too much power, Ted. The military got a lot of power, man. They have it. Why you think the biggest budget that we got in this country is the military? Because you and I have been arguing about that for a long time. They're putting too much money in the military and not enough in your into public projects.
What do you call those people that work outside? They work for the military, but what do you call them?
The who now? The ones who are private people but work with the military?
Yeah,
Oh, well, oh, I know you're talking about, but go ahead.
billions of dollars go to them, bro.
I know they do.
Billions, and in every state.
And they're military contractors.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. The contractors,
Military contractor.
the military contractors
That
are
is
getting billions of dollars
that is
from the
that
military.
is big dollars, Ted, and that money is going. Some of that money is going directly into uh, those senators' pockets. Over half them senators in there livelihood and money that they expect to get once they retire is coming from
Well,
those
they ain't
military
even the
contracts.
senators. It's the people
And
that's
they are
working.
going to protect that. They are going to protect that with their lives. They are not going to let Trump bother that.
Well, why you got Dodge?
Well, they
They
got
want to take.
Dodge. They put Dodge in there and everything, Ted, because that's part of that theory that they got for Project 2025. And they're trying to implement that through this crap. Because really, actually, Ted, what they I don't understand where Elon Musk's power is coming from. I don't understand where Valisucci or whatever his name is, power is coming from. They are not cabinet positions, but they're already going before Congress and sitting down talking to them about DOGE.
Well, here's the thing. HUD is about 80 billion. Education is about 90 billion. SNAP, and that comes from agriculture because they're talking about getting rid of agriculture department. Agriculture should go,
Them red that
and
that
that's one
that
of the
part
most powerful.
that part of the country, Ted, that you and I had spoke about a couple of weeks ago, that maybe we need to get over there and talk to those folks over there and try to figure out what's going on in that middle part of the state. They ain't go the country, they're not gonna let that happen. Them farmers got power. They're not gonna let them bother the Department of Agriculture. They got too many senators up there who livelihood and their job depend on them red states.
Well, here's the thing you got to look at, bro. In agriculture, there are major corporations. I'm talking about
Mm-hmm.
large corporations.
Absolutely.
He's not going to touch those.
Archer
He's going to do the
Daniels,
little farmer, the
Archer
one that's got
Daniels
600
Midland.
acres, 1,000 acres. Those little small farmers.
Absolutely.
Those are the people he's going to go after.
Well, he ain't gonna. He not gonna get too. There ain't too many small farmers out there that he can bother because these corporations done sucked them up.
Well, it's a little bit under 1 million farmers right now. It used to be
Yeah,
big
but
more than that.
a lot of them owe their whole livelihood to them big corporations. They're the ones and stuff that are sitting there funding them.
Those small farmers, let me tell you
Yeah.
something. They will sell in a minute if the money is right.
Well, some of them sold already, and they just out there running the place. They don't even own it. They out there running it, but they don't own it. They just out just like employees. They didn't put that money in their pocket, and they out there running the place because these corporations who bought them can't run them, so they just let them do it. They're employees.
There's a reason why the guy that runs the biggest cable organization in the country and Bill Gates has bought all that farmland
Yep.
because they've seen it coming.
Hey, it's real estate. Ted is a valuable commodity. It's almost as lucrative as cryptocurrency is right now. Real estate very valuable. You go own something, and I tell people all the time, I say, you got to own something. You got to own something.
Well,
You
you're
can't
talking
sit up
about
there.
individual. I ain't talking about no individual. I'm talking about these big millions of acres that these people have bought up, bro. These
I
people
know
have
what
bought
you're
up
talking
millions and
about.
millions of acres.
I know what you're talking about. All I'm saying is that
You got to own some. These
you
people are
got to
selling
own
left and
something.
right.
And
You got to
and
come
and that's
here,
what and that's
come
what
here to
Bill
Florida.
and that's what Bill Gates decided. I need to own something. So that money don't mean nothing. Them billions of dollars I got don't mean nothing. I'm gonna own this. Matter of fact, he probably own enough to have his own state. Anyway, what's your final word, Ted? We about at the end here, man. We've been having a
Well,
good
my
old time
final
here.
word
But
is that
good things must end.
the supply chain is real. You got
Yep.
over almost 3 million people working in this organization all over the
Uh,
country. They're making nice money, but they're coming for you, bro. They're coming for them because automation is real, just like AI. They're coming for you. AI is real. Automation is real. And the question is, what are they going to do with the working class in this country when they go automation on almost every manufacturing job? All we're going to be is retailers. We're going to be sellers. Right now, we already did a thing on 30%. 30% of the population right now got sales jobs. Less than 10% have manufacturing jobs.
that it. That it. That it. That it.
I'm just saying, where is this country going as far as employment, as far as people making a living, paying for their homes, paying for their cars, paying for their helping their children go to school, uh, all of those things that they need to do to make enough money because $50,000 just ain't gonna do it. Because things are, hey, 15, 20 years ago, you could buy you a nice mid-sized car for $20,000. That mid-sized car costs you now $35,000, if not more. I remember when a BMW was $35,000. I thought they was crazy.
Don't talk about my cars now, Ted.
I remember when you had that BMW.
I'd have had a couple of them,
I know,
and I had another one, but it got in a wreck.
I know. But what I'm saying is that now that same BMW gonna cost you $100,000.
Well, I'm gonna get out if I like my BMWs. They maybe saved my life. Oh, I was in a head-on collision. That BMW saved my life. Hmm.
I remember.
So I will pay for it if it costs me $100,000. Then I just got to pay for it. I just got to pay for it. Anyway, my thing is that yes, we're talking about the supply chain, and I I still believe, Ted, that where we at and stuff now, that this country is okay. All we got to do is figure out how to live in it, because we can't produce everything here in this country. We got to produce manufacture something outside this country, and them Chinese over there, they got what, 1.5 billion people. They got to put their folks to work. And yes, we have A
China
thorn in our
has
we
a
have a
motive,
we have a
bruh. They have
we
a
have a
motive.
we have a thorn in our side with uh our retiree program and stuff. It is a thorn in our side, but it can be rectified very easily.
How?
And get rid of that tax cut.
You said a mouthful.
Get rid of that tax cut. That's the main one. You get rid of that
Didn't you hear
tax
what you
cut.
just said yesterday?
You get rid of that tax cut.
But did you hear what I just said yesterday?
Yeah. I hear what I said yesterday. Get rid of that tax cut.
I just
Let it
said,
expire.
I just said that the reason why employment went down is because there was some trickling down of job openings because more companies came back to America because of
Okay.
the tax cuts.
Well, we need to get rid of the tax cut. They back, so get rid of it. They made enough money. They don't went from what? Back
These
then,
people are all about profit, Ed.
back then, the richest man in the world was making what, about $90 billion. He was $90 billion richest man in the world. Now the richest man in the world is what, 200, 300 million
300,
dollars? Okay, 300
300.
million dollars. So in 8 years, them rascals done double their income, double their wealth. They
Ed,
got enough. You got
Ed,
enough. Let some other
Ed,
folks have some of that
Ed,
money.
Ed. In 2017, got a magazine right here. Billionaires. Let me tell you something. 2017, there were only 500 and something billionaires. Now there's over 800 in
Okay.
America.
Okay.
And around the world, it has increased.
Okay. I'm talking about the amount of wealth that they are bringing in has also increased. That's what I'm saying. So because of the tax cut, your wealth has
They don't,
doubled.
these billionaires don't care. We already said it's
But
greed, bro.
we are here to stop them. We are here to stop them. That's our thing.
How
Get
you going to stop them?
get rid of that tax cut.
Then you know
Let it
what they're going
let
to
it
do?
expire. Let it
Ed,
expire.
they got to keep making money, bro. You know what they're going to do?
Then let it expire.
You know what they're going to do?
I don't care. Let it expire.
Wait a minute. You say you don't care, but the reason what they're gonna do is they're gonna cut them jobs.
I don't care. They can't cut them that fast. They can't do it
They
that
can
fast.
every look
They're not going
these
to cut
Ed,
any jobs,
Ed,
Ted.
Ed,
They done brought this stuff
Ed,
back here. Why
Ed,
you think that man spent almost $300 million to keep that man in power? He got enough money. He got money out there
Ed.
that he has
Listen,
invested
listen,
in this country.
listen. These corporations know that they got to keep making money for
That
these shareholders.
that
So they're
thing
gonna cut the
is
jobs.
going. The tax cut is going to expire, Ted. They're
I'm
not
gonna tell
going
you
to
something. If
re-up
they
it.
expire, I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen. There's gonna be 100+ million thousand jobs gone.
No, I don't think so. It's not.
Well over 100,000 jobs
I don't think so.
because each one of them gonna lay off $10,000. We just had
No,
a
they're
had a
not.
company right now.
They're
A
not
company
going to do
just
all that.
laid off 10,000 people.
They're not going to do that. It's
Okay,
not
you
going
can
to
say what you
happen.
want to say.
It's not going to happen. They're
You
going
heard
to
it
let
here,
that.
folks.
It is
You heard it
going
here.
to. It's going to expire.
If that tax cut expire, millions of people are gonna be losing jobs. They're gonna be sending
12,
people home.
12/7/24. When in February, when that baby expires, and the Congress haven't got their crap together to re-up the daggone thing, or at least try to re-up it. When it expires, I'm gonna come back here to 12/7, and I'm gonna pull out Ted's prediction and say
Oh, it's not gonna
the
happen
job's
overnight. They're
still
gonna
there,
start
Ted.
starting in
The jobs are
January.
still there, Ted.
January, February, and March, they're gonna be laying off people like crazy.
They not gonna
They're
happen.
gonna be
Not
you're
that
gonna be
fast.
seeing people carrying
No,
boxes
they not. It's not
out
gonna
of the
happen that
corporate
fast,
world.
Ted. It's not gonna happen that fast. They can't do that. It's not gonna happen that fast.
Those
Why
people
you
that's working at
why
home gonna
you
be
why
saying they're gonna
you
be telling
why
them,
you
"I'm
think
sorry, you've been fired."
why do you think that every Friday of the month, first Friday of the month, if you look at them Financial Times and all the other news agencies or financial news agency come the first Friday of each month, all of them are concentrating on one thing: employment. And as long as it stays high, they're gonna feel confident and they're gonna invest their money. You heard
Man, you don't know economics, bro.
it. You
You
heard
don't
it.
know. You don't know these people. These people
You
are
heard
vicious,
it.
bro.
You heard it.
These people are
They got to keep
vicious.
them numbers high so they can have confidence. You heard
Unemployment. They don't care
it.
about nobody working.
Anyway, people, me and Theodore, we about done back and forth here and conflicting and going around and whatever. I'm gonna continue to be the devil's advocate. So I'm having fun. Anyway, we'll talk to you folks tomorrow. Bye bye.